GoFundMe says. It will withhold millions of dollars raised for Canadian truckers protesting against vaccine mandates, citing police reports of violence. The Freedom Convoy has been rallying since last weekend, and more protests are expected in Toronto and Ottawa. In a statement, the crowdfunding website said it would withhold the donations already made, and refund the money to donors that request it. Another online platform has offered to take donations for the convoy instead. Of the thousands who joined the truckers' protest, 3 people have so far been arrested, one for carrying a weapon, one charged with mischief under $5,000, and another with uttering threats on social media. Donations to the GoFundMe page Freedom Convoy 2022 had reached 10 million Canadian dollars, $7.9 million, £5.8 million, with about 1 million Canadian dollars released so far to organizers. In a statement on Friday, GoFundMe said the demonstrations were peaceful when the fundraiser first started, but had since violated their terms of service prohibiting the promotion of violence and harassment. We now have evidence from law enforcement that the previously peaceful demonstration has become an occupation, with police reports of violence and other unlawful activity, GoFundMe said. The $1 million that has already been released will only go to participants who went to Ottawa to peacefully protest, said GoFundMe. No further funds will be directly distributed to the Freedom Convoy organizers. We will work with organizers to send all remaining funds to credible and established charities verified by GoFundMe, its statement added. Another online fundraising platform, GiveSendGo, announced it would accept donations for the convoy shortly after GoFundMe backed out. In response to objections from Ottawa residents, organizers of the Freedom Convoy have promised to protest peacefully and respect the law, but also to stay as long as it takes. We understand your frustration and genuinely wish there was another way for us to get our message across, convoy organizer Chris Barber said this week. The responsibility for your inconvenience lies squarely on the shoulders of politicians who prefer to vilify and call us names rather than engage in respectful, serious dialogue. The demonstrators are in Ottawa for the love of our families, our communities and our nation, said Tamara Litch, another organizer. Ms. Litch said she is offended by the portrayal of protesters as racists, misogynists and even terrorists. She said they are average peace-loving and law-abiding citizens from all walks of life who are fed up with being disrespected and bullied by our government. Police have said they are concerned about how the convoy has attracted extremist rhetoric. Ottawans have been sharing their concerns with the BBC. Complaints range from idling trucks that impede traffic and makeshift wooden structures in city parks to lost income and fears of harassment and even violence. Stuart, a chef at a downtown restaurant, told the BBC his work had been disrupted because food and alcohol deliveries could not make it past a blockade of trucks and police cordons. I have lost a week's income so far, as have the vast majority of my co-workers, he said. He declined to give his surname, citing concerns over extremists among the protesters. He added, I have no doubt that the vast majority are peaceful. But, as was seen last year with protests in the US, a small minority of people with bad intentions can very easily and quickly escalate the situation. Monica Chin, an Indian-Canadian lawyer living in central Ottawa, said she has avoided leaving her home for fears of harassment. There were men walking in groups in front of our house with Make Canada Great Again hats, she said. I just started to feel like I don't want to go and put myself out there. There's a feeling of unease. A member of the Freedom Convoy protesting in Ottawa. Image source, Getty Images. Image caption. The Freedom Convoy is calling for an end to vaccine mandates in Canada. There is a sense of lack of safety for anyone who is not Caucasian, straight or on board with the protests, said Jessica Segan, who fears for her child, who identifies as transgender. A recent opinion poll by Abacus Data found 68% of Canadians felt they had very little in common with the protesters, while 32% said they had a lot in common with the truckers. On Friday, Ottawa police announced a new surge and contain strategy. Some 150 more officers will deploy to the city centre and a red zone of police barricades is to expand. Police also say they will do more to proactively investigate and charge anyone found violating the law. Authorities are also expecting the protesters to be met by an estimated 1,000 counter-demonstrators. On Friday, Police Chief Peter Slilly called the situation unacceptable and said the force is absolutely committed to bringing this demonstration to an end. I take great empathy with those that have endured unacceptable violations of their ability to live, raise their family, and conduct business in this city, he said.